Hey, how do you do this? How do you play strumming patterns and then mix it with these arpeggio things where you pick each individual string? I'm going to show you a trick, and it really is a trick. It's a shortcut to getting to something that sounds really cool very fast. But it doesn't have any drawbacks. It's not like you learn this and then you can't learn other things, or you can only take your skills that far, which is the main characteristic of many shortcuts. This has no drawbacks, but it's fast anyway. Before I give it to you, you might want to go and check the links below here. We got a new program out. We got free programs, courses for you. So click the links and subscribe to this channel. And don't forget to leave a comment if you got anything to say about this video or anything else. So how do we do this? Well, first of all, I have a capo here in the 3rd fret, just because I like the sound of it. You can totally change the sound of your instrument if you use one. Just... Right? Really cool. So, but I'm just down here in the 3rd fret here. Because you got these open string chords, right? And you can do so many cool things with these open strings, but you can only play in a couple of keys down here with these open chords, so a capo is really helpful there. And it's not cheating. Okay, so what do you do? Well, first of all, strumming, right? It's up and down, right? Basically. Right? That's what we do. But picking, alternate picking anyway, is also up and down. It's like, and if I pick one string, it's just like this. But I can pick multiple strings, right? I can go for 2 string, right? But I can also go for strings that are not just next to each other. And I can practice these things. That's a cool exercise, you know, picking the G and the high E string, or the D and the high E string. It's a nice thing to practice, and then go back and forth between picking strings with, you know, varying degrees of distance in between them. But in order to get to the point where you can go, what you simply do is that you go from strumming, which is a very big movement, to a very small strumming pattern. So try and see if you can just start with hitting the low strings and then the high strings. So you got a downstroke on the low, and then an upstroke on the high. So you can do that. Just follow me. You know, pick up your guitar, start playing right now. This leads to someplace cool. So you go downstroke on the low and upstroke on the high. But this is like playing the low E string and the high E string, right? Just try that. Right? Or you can do more strings than that. You can go, or only these. Right? But then, what if I played the low and then the middle with an upstroke and then the high with the downstroke? Or let me just explain it in a different way. You play the low and then the middle is someplace in the middle. So you know you could aim for the 2 middle strings. So you have a downstroke on the 2 low, then an upstroke on the 2 middle, right? And then you can alternate between the 2 middle or something like that, just in the middle, right? This is the trick. It's inaccurate. That's why it's fast. But it works. So low and middle, and then low and high, alternating between the 2. Oh, we got something that sounds like finger picking almost now. You know, it's just middle and high every time you do an upstroke. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Middle, high, right? But then I could also say, okay, what if these are the 6 strings I play, what about jumping from this string to that? So I kind of have a string in between, and then from this string to that, and then from this to that. So I go low, and then this, and the next string, and then that. So I kind of skip a string every time, and every time I do the next downstroke, I don't go as low as before. So I go da, 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 da. So da, 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 every other, right? So I go... For instance, this is just the system, but then you can be relatively inaccurate when you do it. So low E string, then the D, then the A string with the downstroke, then the G, then the D string, and then the B. No, sorry, the D string and the B, and then the G string and the high E. So every other all the time, right? Like that. But then you can practice that for a bit, right? Practice that for 5 minutes, but then just do it. Just go, and then go back again, right? So you go do down down babe, and and then return. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? I can only do 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the fourth is kind of in the middle somewhere, right? So low, not so low, a little bit higher, and then somewhere in the middle, like little arches. So I go. The important thing is to get that that right. But I'm strumming here. I'm strumming a couple of strings every time, so it's the same as this. Right? But I'm not really accurate. Sometimes I hit the low E string when I want to. Sometimes it's the A string. It doesn't matter. If I go to a C major chord instead, at least the shape. In this case, it's actually the E flat major, but because of the capo, but C major, right? I can just have my A string be the lowest because, don't want the E string there. So the distance where I do this is just a little bit smaller. Instead of here, I do it here, right? But it's the same kind of approximation. And then you can be very fast at it pretty rapidly. But as I said, the most important thing is that you hit that high E string. Right? And then let's say we take that pattern and then we want to have this little detail in. Right, so we go. Oh, let me see. To come up with something, right? So if I want to do that, I go. Okay, so it's the whatever. It's the bam B. So I want to say do dab and B. So I want to hit the high. Do down up, right? I want to hit the high the second time around there. Boom bang boom B. And then I play a downstroke on the A string and, an open string and hammer on to the second fret there, just, and then again. And in that case, where I want to hit specific strings for that little effect, or I hit the it's a D shape, right? Do the same thing, but now I'm just on the D string, and it's an approximation. Now I only have 4 strings to do the same thing with the. But it's, as I said, it's important that I go for the low the first time, and then the high, the right place. Down. Hear how random this is. It's just. And if I don't hit the high, I can always do it the second time. Right? And the cool thing is that since I'm just still doing this, and sometimes I'm hitting 1 string, sometimes I'm hitting 2, that it's so close to strumming that I can go from a gray zone of strumming to just picking individual strings. Right? Right, and everything like anything like that, you put it in there, but it's still the strumming pattern, so you never lose your place. That's the cool thing about it. And instead of really, which you can, and I recommend that you do if you want to, you can really train yourself to hit every string completely right, and to do finger picking patterns almost with your pick. And to know what you're doing. But you can do this and then get to a point where you can really play some cool patterns and and just improvise and become better at it by just playing, by just keeping the strumming pattern going and then experimenting with, right? See what you can do with it. Sometimes I also pick each individual string and like all upstrokes, so. So have fun with it, and remember that don't lose the strumming feeling all the time, the up and down, up and down. Then you pretty much can't go wrong. And then practice the basic pattern of right? And then build on it from there and have fun practicing as you're playing. And don't forget to go check out the new course. It is just designed to teach you how to play every strumming pattern there is, just instantly. When faced with a new strumming pattern, a new song, how do you get to the point where you can just learn it in a couple of seconds, or you can just play it instantly? That's what that very short program is about. So go check it out. Click the links down there, and then I'll see you tomorrow on another video on strumming. Subscribe for more free videos. Do it. Do it now. Do it.